Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dāsa Raghunath. My instructing spiritual masters are Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Ei Chaya Guru Sikha Guru Jayamar, Tasabaro Pada Padme Koti Namaskar. These six are my instructing spiritual masters, and therefore I offer millions of respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet. Little purport by Srila Prabhupada. By accepting the six Goswamis as his instructing spiritual masters, the author specifically makes it clear that one should not be recognized as a Gaudiya Vaishnava if he is not obedient to them, obedient to the six Goswamis. Text 38. Bhagavanera bhakta yata sivasa pradhana tasavara pada padme sahasra pranama. There are innumerable devotees of Lord, of whom Srivas Thakur is the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet. Advaita Acharya Prabhura Amsa Avatar Taro Pada Padme Koti Pranati āmāra. Advaita Acharya is the Lord's partial incarnation, and therefore I offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet. Nityananda Rai Prabhura Swarupa prakāśa Taro Pada Padme Bandho Jāniye dāsa. Sri Nityananda Ram is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Gadadhara Panditadi Prabhura Nija Shakti Tasavaro Charane Mora Sahasra Pranati. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Sri Gadadhara Pandit is the foremost. Śrī Caitanya Prabhu Swayam Bhagavan Tāṅhāra Padara Vinde Ananta Pranam. Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet. Savarane Prabhure Kariya Namaskara Ei Chaya Tiho Eiche Kariye Vichara. Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain the six diversities in one. Purport. Little purport here. There are many unallied devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of whom are considered associates surrounding the Lord Kṛṣṇa should be worshipped with his devotees. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. Text 44. You can chant together. Yadyapi āmāra Guru caitanyera dāsa tathāpi jāniye tāṅhāra prakāśa. Yadyapi āmāra Guru caitanyera dāsa tathāpi jāniye tāṅhāra prakāśa. Yadyapi āmāra Guru caitanyera dāsa tathāpi jāniye tāṅhāra prakāśa. यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास तथापि जानिये आमी ताहार प्रकाश
यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास
यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास तथापि जानिये आमी ताहार प्रकाश यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास तथापि जानिये आमी ताहार प्रकाश वैष्णवीस यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास तथापि जानिये आमी ताहार प्रकाश यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास तथापि जानिये आमी ताहार प्रकाश ट्रांसलेशन यद्यपि even though āmāra my guru spiritual master caitanyera of Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu dāsa the servitor tathāpi still jāniye no ami I tāṅhāra of the Lord prakāśa direct manifestation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Translation. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Śrī Caitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Please repeat. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Śrī Caitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Purport. Every living entity is essentially a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the spiritual master is also his servant. Still, the spiritual master is a direct manifestation of the Lord. With this conviction, a disciple can advance in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The spiritual master is nondifferent from Kṛṣṇa because he is a manifestation of Kṛṣṇa. Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram himself, the first direct manifestation or expansion of Kṛṣṇa, is the original spiritual master. He helps Lord Kṛṣṇa in his pastimes, and he is a servant of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Caitanya. The spiritual master's eternal occupation is to expand the service of the Lord by training disciples in a service attitude. A spiritual master never poses as the Supreme Lord himself. He is considered a representative of the Lord. The revealed scriptures prohibit one's pretending to be God. But a bona fide spiritual master is a most faithful and confidential servant of the Lord, and therefore deserves as much respect as Kṛṣṇa. Hare Krishna. यद्यपि आमारा गुरु चैतन्येरा दास तथापि जानिये आमी ताहार प्रकाश. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Śrī Caitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in this first chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita is explaining about spiritual masters. And the first verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which includes in his Mangalacharana, that is, he explained about Bande Gurun Isa Bhaktan Isam Isa Avatarakan Tat Prakāsamscha Tas Sakti Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Sangyakam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord's incarnations, his plenary persons, his energies, and the primeval Lord himself, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya. So now he started explaining this verse. The first is Bande Gurun. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters. So then Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj also told that spiritual masters, there are two types. One is Sikkha Guru and another is Diksha Guru. Instructing spiritual master and initiating spiritual master. Then he is, in this verse he is telling that the spiritual master, particularly his spiritual master, because he is a direct disciple of Lord Nityananda. Both all the great devotees of Lord Caitanya, who explains the Lord Chaitanya's pastimes in different scriptures. Like here Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author is a direct disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. And same thing also, another personalities like Vrindavan Das Thakur, he also wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. He is also a direct disciple of Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu. And even Jiva Goswami, we see he is also he is directly instructed by Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu, the first Navadip Mandala Parikrama, that is Nityananda Prabhu with Jiva Goswami. Nityananda Prabhu personally saw these different pastime places of Lord Caitanya to Jiva Goswami. That is the first Navadip Mandala Parikrama. And we are following the same footprints. And so it is explained that without the mercy of Lord Nityananda, no one can enter in Krishna Bhakti. Even Narottam Das Thakur told that, Hena Nitai Vinay Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Nahi. One cannot understand Radha Krishna without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu or his representatives. The Gurus, Parampara is, that is the Gurus are the spiritual masters, they are the representative of Nityananda Prabhu. So that's why there is a practical experience. The Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj Goswami himself in his life, he explained in the next in the 5th chapter, in conclusion, that one time in his village is Jamatpur, near Nauhati in Katwa district. That is where the Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj Goswami was exactly residing with his brother. And they had kirtan. They organized a festival of 24 hours kirtan. Ashtaprahara means 24 hours kirtan in his home. That day, many exalted devotees were invited, and among them, one of them was Minakatan Ramdas. He was also invited, and he was a close associate of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj Goswami knows that one is to pay the equal respect to Lord Nityananda in the same level of Lord Gauranga. There is no difference between Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, just like Balaram and Kṛṣṇa. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Sutta Haila Sai Balaram Haila Nitai. But so anyhow, this Minakatan Ramdas was invited, and he came to their house, and there is a deity room, and there is one pujari was doing arti. His name was Gunarnava Mishra. So actually when an exalted devotee comes, one must pay obeisance, give respect to him. Even if someone is doing arti to deity, if some exalted devotee just comes in front of the deity, then his duty is to stop arti and come and so tell him, give him a flower or speak very sweet words, then he return back and do his job. So when Minakatan Ramdas enters their house, this Gunarna Mishra did not give him any respect. All other devotees, they are paying him obeisances. All other devotees, they are immediately paying him obeisance, giving him respect. But Gunarna Mishra, so he told, oh, this is another Rumaharsan. Just like Rumaharsan Sutta, he could not give respects to Lord Balaram. When Balaram entered Naimisaranya, and there is a sages, many thousands of sages, and Rumaharsan Sutta was sitting on the Vyasasana, explaining the Puranas. So when Balaram appeared, everyone pay obeisances. Immediately they stood up from their place and pay obeisances to him. But he was thinking, I am in Vyasasana. But the Supreme Lord is appeared there. So that's why Balaram just simply touched Kusa grass and so anyhow. So now this Minakatan Ramdas told, oh, this person is another Rumaharsan. He did not know how to actually properly give respect to Vaishnava. So this is also explained, this is like neophyte stage. He gives respect only to the deities and did not see the same Paramatma residing in everyone's heart, and specifically exalted Vaishnavas. You have to also give him respect. So anyhow, Minakatan Das, you are not minding this, he is just speaking just like in a joking way. Then he was just chanting, dancing and climbing someone's shoulder, and sometimes he is embracing everyone. He is in an ecstatic platform. His one part of his body is trembling, another body is he is in Ashtasatika Vikar. 8 symptoms of love of Godhead is manifested in his body. And sometimes crying, sometimes laughing, so shouting. So in this way, he chanted in the kirtan and danced, and after he has to come back. Then he was some talk with the elder brother of Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj Goswami, and his elder brother was he could find that the elder brother of Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj Goswami, he has great respect for Lord Caitanya. He accepted Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he did not give much respect to Lord Nityananda. He has not same level of respect as he is giving to Gauranga. He has not same level of respect to Nityananda. So seeing this, Minakatan became disturbed. He saw the Pujari also, and then he saw this. Then then when this happened, he simply broke his. He has a stick and also he has a flute. He looks dressed like a cowherd boy. All the associates of Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu was like cowherd boys. So he broke his and he just left that place and just gone. But Kṛṣṇa Kaviraj Goswami immediately chastised his brother. He chastised heavily. What you did? You giving respect to Lord Caitanya, but you are not giving to respect to Lord Nityananda. What is this? There is the same personality only in two features. Only just like Krishna Balaram. So what is even in one pastime, even Murari Gupta, he come to Srivasangan, he pay obeisances first to Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then he pay obeisances to Lord Nityananda. And Mahaprabhu told Murari, what you have did is not proper. It is not proper etiquette. He told, what is wrong? I pay obeisances to you and then pay to Nityananda. What is wrong? He told you, in a night you will find everything. The night when sleeping, Murari saw the dream. Balaram was standing in front, he is working, and Ananta says is on his head, and he is Hala Musala. And Kṛṣṇa was in a peacock feather as a younger brother in the one side in back, and he is with a peacock peacock pen, he was penning to Balaram. So the next day morning he come, he pay obeisances first to Nityananda, then he pay to Gauranga. He told, why? What happened this? Why this? Because, oh Lord, whatever you show me, because he is elder brother. So, similar, so anyhow, Krishnadas Goswami became very disturbed because his brother could not pay proper respect to Nityananda Prabhu and his associates like Minakirtan Ramdas. He became an offender, Vaishnava Aparadhi. So he chastised his brother and he told it is not proper, just like it is ardhakukuti nyaya, means a hen, just you see the back portion of the hen, they give the egg. So you may cut the front person, throw it. Then you cannot get the egg. Similarly, if you will not give proper respect to Nityananda, who is the original Guru, and you give respect to only Caitanya, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you cannot get the benefit. Even Caitanya Mahāprabhu, many places he declared, if someone have a little tinge of any offensive mentality with Nityananda's feet, I personally will kick him out from my lotus feet. So, Nityananda Prabhu, he is abadhut. Sometimes his behaviors like little out, and his behavior is not like proper behavior looks in ordinary sense. Sometimes he wears like yellow cloth, blue clothes, blue turbans, and sometimes chant, and then he is not in the proper, not follow all the rules and regulations very strictly, but he is Balaram himself. He is the Adi Guru, first expansion of Kṛṣṇa. So that is Krishnadas Goswami, his own experience. And when he chastised his brother like this, and in that same night, he saw in dream, Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared to him in dream with all his associates surrounding. They are all like āmāra boys. Lord Nityananda is looking so effulgent, such a divine appearance. And everyone is dancing, chanting, so everyone chanting, then glorifying Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Mahāprabhu or Śrī Kṛṣṇa, they are going to glorifying. Then Nityananda Prabhu asked, told, "Oh Krishnadas, get up." He asked him to wake up. And then he told Krishnadas, "I am very pleased with you. Now see, follow my instructions, and immediately you go to Vrindavan. Then everything auspicious you will attain." And Krishnadas Goswami, that's why he is mentioned, but just following the instructions of my spiritual master, who? Nityananda Prabhu. He immediately left. Just to wake up, he did not wait. Just to wash his face, and he did not tell anyone anything. Just come to Vrindavan. And what happened? He achieved everything perfection in life. He is author of Caitanya Charitamrita. He is also author of another very great literature, Govinda Lila Amrita. This is the topmost literatures in Gaudiya Sampradaya. Caitanya Charitamrita and Govinda Lila Amrita. They are PhD studies, like very. So this is happened due to the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So Nityananda Prabhu, he is the first expansion of Chaitanya, and also he is the first spirit, he is the original spiritual master. So that's why he is so that's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is telling that every though the spiritual master is also not everyone, not like Lord Balaram, but still spiritual masters are his expansions. Maybe spiritual master is also a living entity, and all the living entities, they are also eternally servants of Kṛṣṇa. Jivera Swarupa hai Kṛṣṇera Nitya das. Everyone is Krishna's das. The spiritual master is Krishna's das. He is also a servant of Kṛṣṇa. The Prabhupada is writing, every living entity is essentially a servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and spiritual master is also his servant. Still the spiritual master is a direct manifestation of the Lord. Because if we want to know whether Lord is pleased with us or not, how can we know? It is only through the spiritual master. If spiritual master is pleased, then you understand Kṛṣṇa is pleased. If spiritual master is displeased, Kṛṣṇa is also not happy with you. Jasya prasadat, Bhagavad prasada, jasya aprasadan, nagati kutopi. There is no other way. You have to see whether Kṛṣṇa is satisfied with you or not through the spiritual master. That's why that disciple can advance Kṛṣṇa consciousness if he pleases the spiritual master. He must see the spiritual master as the representative of Kṛṣṇa. He is not the Kṛṣṇa, though he is not Kṛṣṇa himself, but he is, one must give respect to the spiritual master in the same level of Kṛṣṇa. Just like the 7th verse is telling. Sakhyat haritvena samasta shastrai. All these revealed scriptures, they describe that one have to give respect to the spiritual master in the same level of Hari, same level of Kṛṣṇa. You have to give. Sakhyat Hari, tvena samasta shastrai, uktas tatha bhavyata eva sadbhi, kintu prabhurjiya priya eva tasya vande guru sri charanara bindam. Still, the spiritual master, he knows that he is a servant of Kṛṣṇa, and he accepts all the respects on behalf of Kṛṣṇa. When in Vyas Puja, we are offering everything, all the respects, garlands, everything to spiritual master. Spiritual master is just accepting as a representative in parampara. He offers this everything to his spiritual master. And his spiritual, in this line, it is going ultimately to Supreme Personality of Godhead. He not keep anything for his. Only he did not, and spiritual might, Prabhupada also wrote, it is also offensive, his spiritual master himself thinks that I am God. He is only accepting everything in behalf of God or the parampara. So in this way, his verse is telling that though, yadyapi āmāra guru caitanyera das, though my spiritual master is an eternal servant of Lord Caitanya, tathāpi jāniye tāṅhāra prakāśa, still I know that my guru is a plenary expansion of Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He is telling about his guru because Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram, he is plenary expansion of Kṛṣṇa. Because Kṛṣṇa, the supreme truth is in 5 features. The supreme ultimate truth, that is panchatattvatmakam Kṛṣṇam, bhakta rupa swarupakam, bhakta avatara bhaktākhyam namāmi bhakta shaktikam. Bhakta rupa is Lord Caitanya himself. He is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he appeared as a devotee. Bhakta rupa and swarupa. Who is swarupa? The plenary manifestation is swarupa, Nityananda swarupa, Nityananda Prabhu. And Bhakta Avatar is Advaitacharya, he is an incarnation of Mahavishnu. And there is Bhakta Shakti is Gadadhar, and Bhakta is Narada Muni's, incarnation of Narada Muni is Srivas Thakur, and all other devotees. So in this way, if you want to please the Supreme Lord, you have to please these 5 features, everyone. You cannot just neglect all others and just give respect to Kṛṣṇa. This is not proper. That's why the Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling that though you think that your spiritual master is a living entity and you are also a living entity, but still spiritual master is in a special position. You are not so dear to Kṛṣṇa as the spiritual master is. He is so dear to Kṛṣṇa. So that's why one has to, a neophyte devotee generally should not go very close to spiritual master. Chanakya Pandita advises in Niti Shastra. He told, if you are neophyte, then you should not be very close to a spiritual master. If you go very close to a spiritual master, then you think he is ordinary person. You are eating, he is also eating. You are going to bathroom, he is also going bathroom. He is same thing, same daily routine works. In this way, we think he is also same. Then you maybe in your mind, maybe think something, like Ramachandra Puri. There are two disciples of Madhavendra Puri, Ramachandra Puri and Ishwara Puri. So when Madhavendra Puri was in Remuna, he was feeling so much intense separation from Kṛṣṇa. He was chanting this verse again and again. Oi dina dayardam natha mathura natha kada avalokya hridayam tadaloko kataram dvaita brahmyati king karomyam. This verse was chanted by Radharani herself, Madhavendra Puri and Lord Caitanya. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami telling this verse, these three persons only could release this verse. So he was releasing this verse in Vipralama Bhava, in separation, with intense separation from his Gopal. He left in Govardhan. O Dina Dayard, oh, so merciful Lord, oh Gopal, I left you in Govardhan. I'm feeling so much separation. O Dina Dayard Natha, he Mathura Natha, O Lord of Mathura. Where shall I go? What shall I do? How can I have your association again? He was like this. Radharani was same mood. Kṛṣṇa went to Mathura and Dwarka. So Ishwara Puri was serving his spiritual master. So in this situation, he was doing all menial service. Madhavendra Puri could not even remember whether he is passing stool or urine, or when he is eating or he is not eating. His consciousness is completely out of this body. So that time this Ishwara Puri was serving everything, very detail. His body is serving everything and also helping him, remembering Kṛṣṇa, and is also reading and chanting and reading some scriptures for him. And another disciple came, neophyte disciple. If a neophyte disciple come, then he see Guru is what is going on. Ramachandra Puri came. Then he saw, what is this? He's crying, shouting. What is this, all this? He started advising the spiritual master. He told, oh, what are you doing? You were a sannyasi, and it is so, it is supposed you should be very calm and quiet, silent, and you should meditate on Brahman and all this, like this. So immediately Madhavendra Puri told you, I rejected you. Get out from here. I don't accept you as my disciple. If you will die seeing your face, then I will go to hell. So like this, one should not disturb his spiritual master. Rather, one must try his best to please the spiritual master. That is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wants to tell us. Because spiritual master is also a representative of Nityananda Balaram. Of course, he accepted the 6 Goswamis as his instructing spiritual master in this, the first verses in this connection, number 36. He told the 6 Goswamis, say Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta Raghuna, Sijiva, Gopal Bhatta, they are all my instructing spiritual master, and Prabhupada wrote in Purport, if anyone not accepted the 6 Goswamis and not following their footprints, he has no right to say himself as a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Because these 6 Goswamis are the direct disciples of Caitanya Mahāprabhu. They considered, they are directly instructed by Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and they are Nitya Siddhas. So anyhow, the 6 Goswamis are instructing spiritual master, and Nityananda Prabhu is his initiating spiritual master. So what is difference? Our parampara in yours, Guru parampara also, we see there are 2 gurus, instructing spiritual master and instructing spiritual master. Like Gauri Keshwar Das Babaji Maharaj, for Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is instructing spiritual master and also initiating spiritual master. And for all the ISKCON devotees, or specifically Prabhupada disciples, Prabhupada is initiating spiritual master and also instructing spiritual master. But for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kṛṣṇa Das Babaji Maharaj is the instructing spiritual master and Gaur Kṛṣṇa Das Babaji Maharaj is the initiating spiritual master and Bhakti Vinod Thakur is the instructing spiritual master. Similarly, for us, in ISKCON, for all devotees, we have a spiritual master as the disciples of Prabhupada, someone who is our spiritual master, initiating spiritual master. But the ultimate spiritual master, instructing spiritual master for ISKCON, for all devotees is Srila Prabhupada. So instructing spiritual master is representing the 6 Goswamis. And instructing the initiating spiritual master is representing Nityananda Prabhu. This Guru Parampara in this way. So we have to give respect to both the instructing spiritual master and also initiating spiritual master. So in this way we have to try our best to keep a balance. There's sometimes even all the Prabhupada disciples also, they are the God brothers of our Guru, the initiating spiritual masters of the present, of the 3rd generation devotees. So they are also like instructing spiritual master to the 3rd generation devotees. So in this way, we have to see, we have to give respect, we have to follow the footprints of the Guru, also follow him, and sometimes instruction, there is one Guru, initiating spiritual master is one, but instructing spiritual master may be many instructing spiritual masters. So in this way, we have to keep and balance, check and balance, then we can please Lord Caitanya. To please Lord Caitanya, one has to, Lord Caitanya is so merciful, but he is not merciful to a Vaishnava Paradhi. If someone is offender, feet of a Vaishnava, then Caitanya Mahāprabhu never accepted such an offender. He rejects this person. That's why we are very careful. And Tādera Charana Sebi, Bhakta Sanevas, Janame Hai, Yayo Vilas. Life after life, I have only one aspiration, one desire. What is the desire? Tādera Charana Sebi, Bhakta Sanevas. I have to stay in association of the Vaishnavas. For what is the intention? Tādera Charana Sebi. Even in last days, Srila Prabhupada was reciting this verse again and again. This is the ultimate goal of life. Tādera Charana Sebi, Bhakta Sanivas. Janame hai. Not in one lifetime after lifetime. What we have to do in the spiritual world, there is also same thing. We have to stay in association of devotees and chant and dance. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So any question or comment? It's already time.
You mentioned that the spiritual master is the direct manifestation of the Lord. What does that mean? I mean, are all living entities manifestations of the Lord? And,
yes.
Some Guru, he's in a different category.
So here is Prabhupada's writing. Still the spiritual master is a direct manifestation of the Lord. Though the living entity is also servants, spiritual master is a servant. But he is empowered. He is an empowered living entity by Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is empowered to do such service. He is empowered to accept disciples. Not everyone cannot accept disciples, cannot give guidance. He is empowered in parampara, in particular Guru parampara coming from Kṛṣṇa, and he is empowered to do that job. So that's why one has to pay him special respect. Like he is like Shakti Avesa, like there are different types of incarnations, and he is Shakti Avesa, he is specially empowered to do that job. Okay.
My question is, say if I come to the temple now, what is the proper procedure of obeisances? Should I offer you obeisances first, then should I Prabhupada, then the deities? What is the actual procedure for me?
In Gundicha Marjan, what Caitanya Mahaprabhu established the etiquette in a temple hall in Gundicha margin when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cleaning the Gundicha temple. And one Bengali Vaishnava took the water in a pot and put in his put on his feet, and he took Jaramit and started drinking. Mahaprabhu became very angry. Though inside he is, but he called Swarup Damodar, called your Gaudiya Vaishnava, this Bengali Vaishnava. Look, his in Lord's temple, he put water on my feet and took. What will happen to my destination? Because he is Acharya, he is teaching. And Prabhupada wrote their purport. In temple room, in front of deities, one should not pay obeisances to anyone. Even the disciples paying obeisances to the Guru has to correct the disciples not to pay obeisances in front of deities. So in front of deities, we have to follow that etiquette. So outside, you have to pay obeisance, whatever, to see the Vaishnavas according to their adhikar, you have to pay. Rupa Goswami is telling 3 types of Vaishnavas. What is this? Kṛṣṇa tejasya girita manesa andriyeta. If you see anyone is chanting Kṛṣṇa, 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 he is taking Hare Krishna, but he is not following the proper etiquettes, not regulatory principles, then you have to at least give him respect from within. Kṛṣṇa tejasya girita manesa andriyeta. In mind. Dikhyasti chat pranatibhischa bhajantamisham. If he is initiated, he is in proper parampara and he got initiated, and then you have to pay him Panchanga Pranam. He is chanting holy name and doing deity seva, or was reading Bhagavatam, then you have to give Panchanga Pranam. Then Dikhyasti bhajantamisham, इसके बाद शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञ अनन्य मन्य निंदा आदि शून्य हृदय ईप्सित संग लब्ध्वा. Then he is a Uttama Vaishnava who is Ninda Adi Sunya Hridaya. He don't consider anyone as enemy, as any someone is my friend, someone enemy like this. He is Ninda Adi, he is not blaspheme anywhere, and his heart is completely clean. A Uttama Vaishnava, then you have to pay him full dandavat, you have to serve him, Susrusaya. And you have to pay full dandavat pranam to a Uttama Vaishnava, and according to adhikar you have to pay obeisances. Anyhow?
One other question. If the platforms are closed,
Yes.
platforms are closed, do we offer obeisances to you first, or should I Prabhupada first and then to you?
Your Guru is not in front of you present here. You have to pay obeisance to Prabhupada. He is also a spiritual master. He is instructing spiritual master.
So first concept.
You have to pay obeisance to Prabhupada.
Prabhupada first and then Guru.
Your Guru is not here. If your Guru is here, the Guru duty is to pay obeisance to first Prabhupada and pay me later. Okay? A senior, in front of a senior personalities, you have to pay obeisance to senior person. Okay? So, yes.
Maharaj told that in Morari to past time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, so he paid obeisances there to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought him to pay obeisances for Sunita and Govinda and to Guru Zatosha. So you should become here and pay first service to Prabhupada and then go to the east. This is our sequence.
So we are paying obeisance to Prabhupada.
And again, our spiritual master is there.
But if your duty is to follow the instructions of spiritual master. If your spiritual master is instructing to pay the obeisance there, then you have to pay there. Okay. So anyhow, yes.
So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions that he has 6 instructing spiritual masters. And I'm not sure if I don't think so. I don't think that he explicitly mentioned.
Not only this, he is not telling like this.
He's not telling me. So what is the reason for this?
Eche Gosai Sikhya Guruji āmāra. The 6 Goswamis are my instructing spiritual master. He not told that absolute that this is only spiritual Sikhya Guru.
Who is his Diksha Guru?
instructing spiritual master.
Who is Krishnadas Thakur's Goswami's Diksha Guru, and why does he not
He
explicitly?
told Nityananda Prabhu clearly mentioned here.
That's his Diksha Guru.
Nityananda Prabhu is Diksha Guru, and he accepted like this six Goswamis as Siksha Guru, he told. But he did not told that they are the only Siksha Guru.
Okay.
Many places he explained, like Loknath Goswami is explained also Siksha Guru. In many places, other also.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do you have any question? Okay. Hare Krishna.